Hello, my name is Rod Soto, and I'm with the Splunk Threat Research Team. And today I'm going to give you a quick demo of how to use the Splunk add-on for Microsoft 365 to analyze from a security perspective logs that are coming from the interaction with Microsoft Copilot. You can see more of this information in our recently published blog, as you're seeing it right now. So let's get started. So here's a simple search that we were able to craft, a couple of preview items. Number one, we're using the Splunk add-on for Microsoft 365. We need to connect it, obviously, to your M365 instance. And then we're ingesting it. These are the access logs. The access logs basically gives you permissions, gives you a lot of metadata like the user, the type of ad that was used to access Copilot. Remember, Copilot is everywhere. It's in Excel, Word. It has its own application. It's an Exchange. So there are multiple interactions that need to be monitored and analyzed, because every single possible of these interactions in these different apps are definitely an injection point, a point that can be used for attack. So in this simple search, you're looking at the user, what app was accessed, the IP address, location, and the number of times. We can also break this down and, for example, look for unusual access locations. This will probably tell you if somebody has access Copilot from locations that are either unusual, or is this account taken over, or is this user sharing access with somebody else, for example, through cities that are distant or within a geolocation that is basically non-logical. So that's another example. Here, we can also see a simple search that will give us the detail of the operating system, the device that are compliant or not. In this case, we're looking at non-compliant devices, especially important if you're in an enterprise and you have a compliance policy. As you can see, you can get the user, the operating system, the type of browser, the IP address, the version of the browser, and the number of times that this was accessed. And then moving on, it is important that not only we use the access logs that we can get from the Splunk add-on, but we can also use Microsoft eDiscovery purview to not only create searches that will give us information about the interactions of our users against Microsoft Copilot, and then we can export them into Splunk. And as we are going to be able to see here, we can actually search and try to detect for possible attacks against these models. The bottom line is, because of how many places you can access Copilot, because it's everywhere, it has its own app, it has it's in Excel, as you can see here, it's in Word, it's an Exchange. There's just so many places that you can inject or try to inject a prompt injection, for example. We can look for different types of attacks. This one is simply a jailbreak. The standard jailbreak was the keywords such as bypass, override, or pretend that you are. So these are things that were tested with several available type of jailbreaks, and these searches can be modified, can be extended, and they're very useful to detect if there's any type of attempt to interact with Copilot. And remember that, because, like I said before, because Copilot access is so extensive, especially if you're using it in a type of agentic workflows, and that's been seen before of vulnerabilities. If a malicious user is able to jailbreak the model, they might be able to obtain an amount of information that basically might be a huge risk for the organization. Here's another one. This is an impersonation type of attack. As you can see, we can see it in the break it down. subject title, in the type of workload, the email, the impersonation type, the user, the sender, and then obviously the time that this was done. It is important to understand that Microsoft does provide extensive specific information on these prompts, and you can even export them by using eDiscovery singularly. You can export the entire prompt and response. But in terms of use and analysis, by you doing this, basically you are streamlining the analysis of this prompt responses and basically inputs. So here's another one where we're trying to basically try to find information extraction. As you can see, we have a specific terms, and these are a few examples of some of the things that we're developing, and they will be available soon in ESEU. So thank you for your attention and hope you enjoyed this demo.